Hey y'all, today we're here with pilot David Arton, and we're going to talk all things music touring. So let's get started.
The industry backbeat.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So what I do is I basically am a glorified taxi driver shuffling people around to wherever they need to go, whenever they need to go. We take airplanes like this one right here and we'll go to the beach. We'll go to meetings in Dallas, Houston, all over the place.
Right. And then, so what does like a normal day in the life of a private pilot look like?
A lot of it is balancing schedules, making sure that we leave at the proper times, we arrive at the proper time, so that my clients can get to their meeting on time or their vacation, whatever it may be.
All right, so let's say we have an artist about the same size as like Zach Bryan, pretty big. So would you say that flying commercial or private is better? And what are the pros and cons of doing each of those?
The biggest thing flying private is price, cost-wise. You gain a lot more security with flying private. You gain a lot more of your time back. You're not having to wait through TSA or wait on your bags at the bag counter. It's all in the airplane with you. You show up and you leave.
And then I know you said that you had met Kid Rock at this airport for the festival at last year. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience meeting Kid Rock? Anything that notable that you might take away from that experience?
I didn't really get a chance to talk with him, but I talked to his staff, and the way they operate is like I just said. They have a convoy of Suburbans or Sprinters that will pull up to the airplane as soon as he lands, and he's got security with him on that airplane, as well as security on the ground, and they're all facilitating his arrival and his departure to and from the airport, to and from the arena from there. So what they do is basically ensure that he has the smoothest and easiest flight, so that he is in as good of shape he can be to perform. Band of Kid Rock size, or any of the really big names, Taylor Swift, all of them, they have separate airplanes, and a lot of that is to do with insurance is the big thing. Insurance does not want somebody that big of a name all traveling and touring together. So Kid Rock's band, for instance, they arrived about 2 hours before he did, and they set up all the instruments and the sound check and everything. And so when Kid Rock arrived, he was, from the time he landed to the time he was performing, was less than 30 minutes.
All right, so now I'm gonna like kind of give you an example of just some made-up band, and then I wanna see what you think the average cost of these flights would be. So my band is about 12 people is gonna be on the plane, and then they're going on a 12 city tour. Each city's about 500 miles apart, so we're going to like Atlanta to Orlando, to New Orleans, all across about south of the United States, and then this is a 12-day tour. What does that cost look like? How much do you think they're paying?
So there's two ways to go about that, and they're both around about the same cost. You either do two smaller airplanes, so you have a little bit bigger than this. This is a 6-seater airplane, but you do two 8-seater airplanes flying all around. That's going to cost you about $1,200 to $1,500 an hour. So you double that for two airplanes, and all your other associated costs, you're going to be probably $40,000 range. Whereas if you got to hold 12 people, you're going to have to get one of the biggest top of the line airplanes, and that's going to be closer to anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 an hour.
Hey y'all, I'm here with Mr. Jason Ball, the manager at Louisiana Regional Airport. What exactly do you do as a manager?
So as airport manager, I'm responsible for mainly the facility, making sure that it's safe, number one, for all the pilots coming in and out and all of our users. Also, I manage all of the grants, federal and state grants, for all the projects that we do out here. So that's basically how we're funded, is through our projects are funded by the state and the FAA. So I manage all of those multi-million-dollar grants.
Have you ever worked with any like big artists that have flown into this airport before?
Yes, we have a concert every year, just right near here. And every year we have multiple artists that fly in and use our facility because of it's not only its location, but they like it because it's a little low key, more than Baton Rouge, where it's a bigger airport and a lot more red tape. So they can come in here, they have security, and we have a little bit of privacy, and they can get where they're going to their venue, and then get out really quickly.
And then when an artist comes, what's like normally the time frame, like when you find out they're flying in, and like, do they tell you who they are, or do they use like a fake name, or?
Sometimes, so most of the time it's the pilots that contact me. I can usually tell based on the lineup at the venue of who is flying in what aircraft. But you know, for instance, we had Chris Stapleton was the last one that flew in. He was in a larger jet, so they had to call me first, get permission, because the jet was actually too large to land here. So we had to make sure that they were under our weight bearing capacity, met all of our requirements, and then I allowed them to come in with being underweight. So they were able to come in, and sometimes I do know who they are, sometimes I don't. Most of the time, we're not worried about it.
So as an airport manager, do you have any like unique stories about some times that you've met some people in the industry, the music industry?
So I have a buddy who, you know, known for a long time, and he knew that I was airport manager. I was at another airport, and he would call me or text me all the time. He actually did a lot of the travel plans for Kiss, you know, the band Kiss, a little before your time, but great band. And you know, he would text me and say, "Hey, I need a citation or a Gulfstream for this date going here to this location. You know, you have any leads for me to find out?" So I'd actually put him in contact with a charter company that I knew and try to see if they can arrange travel plans. You know, a lot of them use timeshare like FlexJet, NetJets, but you know, some of them just use privately chartered aircraft. And that was just one that I was like, wow, I helped with Kiss. That was just my little claim to almost fame.
Well, I think that's all I have for you. But thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.